So you want to become smart, huh? In many parts of the world, we're led to believe that becoming smart requires 12 years of school and then 4 years of college after that and then 6 years on top of that. Unfortunately, the reality is that many people struggle to find work even after all that education. This is not a joke. If you're at this point and still haven't figured it out yet, becoming smart is actually so easy, even if you think your genetics are holding you back. Compared to animals, we're very OP when we're comparing smartness to each other. When people like you and me express the desire to get smarter, it entails various goals. We want to develop useful skills, ideally those that can generate income. We aim to improve our problem-solving abilities, earn better grades, tackle challenging subjects, and impress others with our knowledge. Ultimately, we want to engage in conversations where we sound intelligent enough to earn respect, but not so much that we come off as nerdy. The problem is that most online advice tends to be vague without concrete steps for implementation. It might work for super smart people, but what about the rest of us? If you look for advice that you can implement right away, you often encounter the same old suggestions like eat fruits because they can help your brain, drink coffee, exercise, sleep 8 hours a day, or listen to white noise. While these tips sound appealing, they don't provide a practical path to learning. These tips are like being told to just be happy without ever being shown how. In the past, geniuses have spent their days at desks, only getting about 2 to 4 hours of sleep every single day. So what can you do to actually become smart without using quick hacks that you watched online? The simple answer is to read. So the question is, what should you read? Well, it depends. Fiction can help you read faster and expand your vocabulary while also providing a sense of connection through dialogue. However, most people go towards nonfiction, which is essential for casually sharing interesting knowledge in conversations. For example, by reading just one book, you can impress others with your understanding of history. But remember, it's important to share knowledge without coming across as superior. Instead of saying, well, actually, we didn't evolve from chimpanzees. Try, it's fascinating how we share a common ancestor with chimpanzees. I was reading recently that we evolved side by side. This way, you can be smart while also remaining humble and relatable. To help others learn from you, share what you know without making them feel dumb. This approach comes through as respectable and allows for meaningful exchanges. Now, how do we find these books? Well, it's easier than you think. You don't need to stick to the same 5 titles everyone recommends. Simply choosing a topic of interest, let's say Bitcoin, and Google books about Bitcoin. Select one that looks appealing. While many books are for purchase, you might find yourself on a website where you can download ebooks. Once you have the book, not only can you take interesting things for conversations, but you'll also be able to gain practical skills. Here are 2 things to remember as you learn a new skill. Number 1, if you don't practice, your brain will forget the information. Number 2, you only need to master 20% of the knowledge to grasp 80% of the skill. This principle is known as the learning curve. It illustrates how quickly you can improve with a small amount of practice. Remember, you don't have to learn to tie a tie just by watching. You learn by doing. The same goes for reading. Books only make you smarter if you engage with the material. After reading a chapter on cooking a steak, go ahead and cook one. Any steak will do. This hands-on experience will help solidify your knowledge. What if you can't practice right away? For example, if you're reading about how to jumpstart a car, but you don't have 2 cars available, you can still practice mentally. Visualize the situation when you might need to jumpstart a car. Find a video and imagine it's your car. By mentally rehearsing the process, you trick your brain into believing you've used that information, making it way easier to remember. This method of learning, using what you've learned or imagining scenarios where it's applicable, is how you become smart. The education system often works the same way. You learn information, and since it may be years before you use it, teachers create tests to simulate real-life application. However, once the exam is over, many forget the material because it no longer seems useful. Some people believe techniques like repetition, spaced repetition, or mind mapping will help them learn faster. In reality, practice questions provide the best results because they mimic the situations in which you'll need to apply what you've learned. If you lack practice questions, create your own or search for them online and imagine having stakes, like hanging off a cliff and needing to recall parts of a particular time in history to be saved. Learning and making information seem useful to your brain is key to becoming smart. This is why textbooks are so effective for rapid learning. They provide direct information and practice questions without unnecessary haze or distraction. While books may not be as engaging as watching a YouTube video, they offer a straightforward way to learn. The truth is, becoming smart isn't about following some magic formula or having superhuman brain power. It's about constantly feeding your curiosity through reading, then actually putting what you learn into practice, even if that practice is just in your imagination at first. Remember, your brain is a muscle that's desperately trying to grow, not a container waiting to be filled. Every time you read something new and mentally rehearse using that knowledge, you're literally rewiring your neural pathways to make you smarter. So what are you waiting for? Pick up a book on something that genuinely interests you today. Search for a topic online, read a chapter, practice what you've learned, and watch as that knowledge transforms from useless facts into your personal superpower. The smartest people aren't those who memorize the most. They're the ones who actually used what they learned. Now it's your turn to take what you learned from this video and truly become one of them. Keep pushing, trust in yourself, and remember, from the bottom of my heart, I believe in you.